Right, we're on. Mini driver. How do we hit a mini driver? And what is a mini driver? So we have driver 460cc head. We have a fairway wood, 3-wood, much smaller head, and right in between the two is the mini driver. So the mini driver effectively falls in between driver and your fairway wood. Now that makes complete sense. Driver we've all hit before, we all understand how a driver works, but how do we play this guy? So there's obviously a few main differences straight away. Because the head is much smaller, then our tee height's going to change. We're going to tee it down. But the way I think about this is, yes, that is a mini driver that's lying there. But because it's got the word driver in the name, I think people still play it like a driver. So this is my driver, my 460cc driver. I take my address position. Ball position is quite far forward in line with left armpit. Right foot's away back here. My right hand goes down my right side and then applied onto the aft of the shaft. And that, of course, sets me in a position to launch up into this golf ball. And that is a requirement of this golf club. With the 460cc head and the less loft, this is sitting at 9.5 degrees of loft. I have to swing up on this golf ball to make sure this driver works optimally. I get the optimum out of this driver. With the mini driver, because it's called a driver, I think that puts people way down the wrong track. It even says it on the face right there, mini driver. It's not a driver though. So I look at it like a 2-wood. Because it lies in between driver and 3-wood, I look at it like a 2-wood. So you can see the difference in ball height there. I have the ball a lot lower, not necessarily half a ball above the crown like suggested with driver, but I have the ball just much lower. So that ball position with mini driver is much lower. With my normal driver, I've got my normal tee height. Let's hit normal driver. Normal driver, let's hit driver and not 2-wood. Dress position there, ball left armpit, big step with right foot, away out here, hand down there, in here, trying to hit up on this thing. It's quite hard to do. I stay behind it, my head stays behind the golf ball as I'm playing the shot, keeping my left shoulder nice and high. I've hit it all right. I think it's in the rough down the right, but it's okay, it's fine, it's playable. Mini driver now. Tee a lot lower. Okay, you can see how much lower that tee actually is to accommodate that shallower face. Nowhere near as deep on the face. And I take my address position. Okay, so here's the differences. I think of this as a fairway wood, so it's my 2-wood. It's not a mini driver, it's a 2-wood. So I'm not going to set myself for driver. All these driver thoughts that are in my mind from that last shot have to be erased. Do you know when I hit a 2-iron into a green or a 4-iron or a 6-iron, I don't think about setting up like driver because it's not a driver. So all driver thoughts away. Fairway wood thoughts, bring them out. So here I am with my 2-wood, balls teed lower. Set myself up for a 2-wood. I'll explain exactly what I do in just a second. And all I'm going to do is hit my 2-wood. It's effectively a 3-wood golf swing. Fairway. Nice. Best swing of the day? Nope. What did I do different there then? Well, my tee was lower. My ball position is further back in my stance because there's less loft in the golf club and no need to try and launch. Because you never hit your 3-wood and try and launch it in there, do you? You just hit your 3-wood and trust the natural loft's going to do the job for you. So I'm set here, good. Ball position's further back, it's kind of badge between sternum and left armpit, kind of in this channel here somewhere. Pretty good. My weight is much more evenly balanced. I no longer have this huge right step to put more weight on my right side or to get my left shoulder nice and high. Don't want that. I'm not trying to hit up, not trying to launch this. Nice there, brilliant. My grip, my hands are more in line with the golf ball and less behind the club head or in line with the club head. Driver here, hands in line with club head. Mini driver here, handle slightly forward, because now this is the bit. This is the confusing part. So I actually want to hit down slightly with mini driver. I don't want to launch this ball up in the air. Worst case, actually I don't really want to hit down, I want to hit level. But if I hit down, it's okay. If I hit down with driver, it's not okay. If I hit down with this 2 wood here, it's fine. Oh, hitting down, what's hitting down going to do? It's going to add a little bit more spin, which keeps the ball a little bit straighter and gets the ball nicely in the air. So there's my ball position further back, handle further forward, and I'm much more evenly distributed with weight. Perfect. No longer go down here and in there to try and keep left shoulder high, because if my right shoulder gets a little bit high on this, I'm not that fussed. There's room for error, which is great. It's nice, it's comforting. Step in on the shot here, club behind, there. Now when I play the shot, okay, this is key. As I come into the shot here, I am getting into that left side. I'm really getting into my lead side here. Much more, dare I say it, much more iron swing feel. Yes, iron swing feel. I was thinking there between 3 wood, but it is more iron swing than it is driver swing, I think. There, I'm getting into my lead side and I'm in here. And as I say, if I hit down and hit a little bit of turf after, I'm okay with that. Absolutely fine with that. So feel as though you get down into that shot, sun's come out. When I'm trying to get into that left side, what I mean is I'm not trying to hang back to get the angle of attack to be a positive one. I'm just making sure that my body, my weight, my mass is transferring towards target. So everything's moving to target. I'm definitely not trying to hang back and hit up. It's much more level. Get the weight's going towards my intended target. Stand nice and tall like you would do with your fairway wood. There. Pretty good. I finished on my left heel there. Everything went towards my intended target. Another bonus of the fairway wood is I feel as though I can swing hard at it. With a bit of confidence. Your driver sometimes get a little bit pokey trying to sort of guide it and steer it onto a fairway. With a fairway wood, sorry, a mini driver, fairway wood, it's a fairway wood, it's a 2 wood. I feel as though I can have a little bit more of a go at it. You know, I can hit it a little bit harder. Whew, without the fear of not necessarily going offline, but without the fear of, you know, those ones you sort of balloon and you kind of lose control of. That's not there with a mini driver. But at the end of the day, why do we have a mini driver? It's because people do struggle with the main driver, yet are quite proficient with their fairway wood. Is there a need for a mini driver? There is. There is a need for a mini driver for people who, as I say, struggle with driver. Is it any better than a 3 wood though? That's the question. Will it outperform your 3 wood? Well, generally, if you look at the construction of it compared to your 3 wood, there's more mass in the head. It's a larger head, it's got a much deeper face, and of course it's got less loft as well. So generally it should go further than your fairway wood, your 3 wood for example. However, what's easier to hit? Well, I personally think what's easier to hit is your fairway wood. I think there's no substitute for a 3 wood, to be honest with you. I mean, that was pretty good. That was very good actually. But your 3 wood is arguably going to be easier to hit. Like your wedge is easier to hit than your 6 iron. Your 3 wood is going to be easier to hit than your 2 wood, aka mini driver. But then of course your mini driver is going to be easier to hit than your driver. So if you can sneak, if you're a great 3 wood player and struggle with driver, if you can sneak this into the mentality that it's just a strong 3 wood, you're probably going to be golden. One other thing that has to be taken into consideration is the looks of it. Do you actually like the look of this? To me, they look quite bulbous. Now the technology in them is changing slightly because they've now brought out the R7 PXG, do a secret weapon I believe it's called, and they're starting to look a little bit more like drivers. Callaway's one as well. This one here is a TaylorMade burner, probably 2 years old now. Not a huge fan of the look. It's just, everything slopes off. There's no straight lines, so alignment aids not great. It's just, I don't know, it's just, I look at my TaylorMade Sim 3 wood and my Wilson fairway wood, they're very clean and very easy to line up. Yeah, I hit it well. Better than my 3 wood? No. Better than my driver? Yes, more consistent. Would I change from driver to mini driver? I don't know. I really don't know. Try one though.